Squasherella by Amy Boxshall. Squasherella, Squash for short, was kind and sweet and cute, but longed to be like all the other scary veg and fruit. Her sisters could make any veg jump out of their skin, but all that Squash could manage was a big and friendly grin. At Scare School, all the fruit and veg played tricks on Squash each day. She couldn't shine at Glow class, nor frighten veg away. So when Squash was invited to the big Halloween ball, her sisters told her, "You can't go, you're not scary at all." Squash was sad, but thought, "It's true, I don't think I look right. I'll never be a scary fruit whose face can spook and fright." Feeling glum, Squash stayed at home, but in a flash, she found a magic fairy squash mother had popped out of the ground. "I'll help you to look scary," the nice squash mother cried. "But remember that true scariness must come from the inside." One wave of the magic wand gave Squash a spooky grin, an eerie glow, twiggy vines, and a car to travel in. As Squasherella reached the ball, a voice rang in her head. "The magic ends at midnight," Fairy Squash Mother had said. At the door the bouncer called, "Now pose and shout out boo. The winner is the scariest. Perhaps it will be you." The other guests all turned and gasped as Squash came through the door. She rushed to see her sisters, feeling braver than before. At once she made a scary face. Her sisters jumped in fear. "Who are you?" they shouted. "You're the scariest fruit here." Squash was having so much fun, she soon lost track of time. And suddenly the great big clock began to chime, chime, chime. Squash's crown dropped from her head as she began to flee. "I've got to leave right now," she thought, "or they'll see the real me." The sisters spied the flower crown and cried out to the ball, "It was Squash who scared us. She's the scariest of all." Back home, Squash was herself again, but her confidence had grown. She decided to spook all the veg. She crept to them, then moaned, "Boo!" The fruit and veg leapt up in shock. They loved to get a fright. "Squash, you are the scariest of everyone tonight. Even though you may look cute and have a button nose, you still managed to scare us from our top leaves to our toes." Most of all, Squash understood, there's nothing I can't be. Anything can happen if I believe in me. If you like the content that we produce, please consider supporting us with a donation through our Patreon at patreon.com/quietbooksforbedtime. Donations allow us to purchase more books to read for the show. Thank you, and stay snuggly.